What's up with
Nothing. Nothing at all.
it? How you doing today?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing good. Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
I am K-Bell. I'm an artist, an actress slash model, singer, songwriter. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I currently reside in San Antonio, Texas right now.
Yeah. Kind of did a little research on you. Say you're originally from Indianapolis. Did I say it right?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. And you moved, I guess, like around the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your life, early childhood growing up in Indianapolis?
It was, I ain't gonna lie, it was hard. It was a hard time, but I lived in the hood. I mean, I had a bus stop that was right in front of a crack house. Didn't know that till we cut on the news and stuff. So, I mean, I lived up in some really rough areas and stuff. So, it was a hard life. I ain't gonna lie.
How was your household? Like, for like your mother, father? Do you have any siblings, anything like that?
Mm-hmm. I grew up in a broken home. I did. Like, my mother and my father, they pretty much separated when I was young, and then she got remarried. So, my stepdad, he's the one that pretty much kind of like raised me, and we're still cool to this day, even though my mom had passed 2 years ago. But we're still, it's okay. So yeah, it was. Traditionally broke up a home, but so yeah, I didn't really grow up with both my biological parents together. I have an older brother that was from my mom. Then I have like three other siblings, but we all have different moms.
Oh, from your father.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But you said that I guess you grew up in a rough neighborhood where you was in Indianapolis. Was that the cause of you relocating to San Antonio?
No, my mom worked at a bank, and so she worked at Bank One, and she was in the mortgage department, and it got bought out by Homeside Lending, and we either had a chance to go to San Antonio, Texas, or Jacksonville, Florida. We ended up going to San Antonio. I was always against it, never wanted to move. I actually was trying to stay with my granny, but she wasn't having it, so I had to go there.
How was that transition, especially like you probably just getting into high school?
No, I was in 8th grade.
14?
I was 13, getting ready to turn 14. Because my birthday's late, so I couldn't,
But still, how was that transition?
It was a culture shock.
Yeah, with all your friends, then like you said, a whole different city.
No, I don't want to sound racist or anything, but it was a culture shock because I never really seen a Mexican until I moved to Texas. I went from being like in a classroom full of black people to like I'm the minority. It's only like one or two of us in the classroom, so it was a big culture shock for me. It took some getting used to, and then the closest Mexican restaurant we had was Chi-Chi's, so restaurants on every corner now. It was definitely different.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't expect that, but it makes sense, with Mexico Texas being so close to the border.
Mhm. Yeah, so it was definitely different for me.
How did you take to adjusting to that culture?
I didn't really have no choice. I had to deal with it. It was the heat I can never get with. That's really the big one. It's just I can't get with the heat. But the culture shock, eventually you just adapt. You can't do nothing about it. Just go with the flow.
And that's where you began, I guess, your music career in a sense. But
yeah.
You started in church?
Yeah, I was always singing in church, and then I called my dad number 2. Like when I was, what grade was I in? I think I was in fifth or probably 4th or 5th grade. He actually challenged me to write my very first song. So it'll be him and my older brother. We'll be sitting here recording it's called Love, actually, and I'll never forget it. I remember some of the words, but and we were all sitting in front of his tape recorder and we'll be singing a song, and that I wrote. So and then from that point on, I was always just writing songs ever since he had challenged me to do it. So I've been writing
since 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I would say, then I guess you were, were you recording anything then, or you just kind of, playing around amongst yourself?
Yeah, I wasn't recording anything. I was just singing in choirs in school and in church. The closest to me recording anything was me having like the keyboard, playing around with some stuff and recording myself in a tape recorder. But I didn't really start getting into the recording until I was married, when I got married years ago, and he introduced me to getting into the recording booth and stuff. Other than that, I never have been in there before.
Gotcha. When exactly would you say that you started to take it serious?
From the day I got into this recording booth, I took it serious because that's something I always wanted to do. So I ended up going to like vocal classes, and I never stopped recording ever then. I even was in like when I was in vocal class, it was these two guys that I met. Their name was like Cree Gordon and Lorenzo Dow. When they ended up approaching me and they was like, "Hey, you want to be in this group we're having?" I was like, "Just get on this hook," and I was like, "Sure, I'll sing on it." And then we ended up getting in a group, and it was this other guy. His name was Mesa Band. I don't know, that was his name.
Amazing band.
Mesa, I don't know, Mesa Band. It was short lived, so I don't really remember because he wasn't in the group that long. And it was like I was the singer, and it was nothing but guys, and they rapped. And eventually, I would rap with them, and because I knew how, but they were like the main ones. I was really just a singer. So we were in a group, and then we ended up breaking up, and it was just me singing by myself, and I just kind of stuck with it.
What was the cause of the breakup? Like for the group?
Like most groups break apart, differences of opinion. Eventually somebody want to be the star of the group, and they don't want to be. They don't want to end up being like us all being together. Like I'll never forget, we was having a meeting. This person was like, "I am like a diamond." I was like, "What?"
That was one of the guys saying that? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy was looking at you like, "Wait, what? What's going on here?" So yeah, he got his head he got me. Like, he was a dope rapper though. I will give it him. He was a dope rapper, and but at the same time, when people start taking notice of you and other people start recognizing you, and they want to put you on, then your head start getting bigger, and you start downplaying the people that kind of was like growing with you. So it's basically that's how we end up breaking up.
Right. You said you went on and began to do your own solo career.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess your debut album was No Guarantees.
Yes, it was.
Now I'm gonna ask you this: just listening to the album, I wouldn't expect that to be your first. Like the music choice, the songs you chose on this album to be your selection based off your background coming up in church.
Yeah. Yeah. I always had a deep love for R&B. I think that's where me and my mom always got into it. She knew I wanted to be a singer. She was like, "You just want to sing for the devil?" I was like, "No, I don't." But I didn't consider it singing for the devil. I just love singing R&B. I love it. And let's just be real. Gospel music, since they send their, they actually base a lot of their music off of R&B stuff. If you really listen to it, they switch up the words and make it into a gospel song. So somebody listening to some R&B music, if they sit there marketing like gospel songs after it. So I mean, I don't see the problem here. But I know you can't serve two masters, which is the problem. But it's like I'm grounded in church, but I just like singing R&B music.
How did your church peers receive that? Like, take it to your music when they first heard it?
They didn't say nothing because I started off kind of like classy with it before I got raunchy. But and then I would be like, don't buy that album. You don't want to hear that. Just don't. But I did a gospel album just for my grandparents. And
okay, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, was it you titled it Rebirth? Like, was something that kind of like, okay, hold on, I still got my faith in what I'm doing in my religion, but I asked you that because I was wondering, like, was it like one of those things where you, like, I guess in a sense you had some pushback from the first album, and you kind of bounce back from that?
Technically, I was actually working on a second R&B album, and but my dad number two, he was actually listening to. He's a pastor, and he listened to every single, whether it was nasty or not. He listened to every single song and told me what he felt about it. And then he was like, "Well, why don't you try doing a gospel?"
I knew it was something to it.
And so I was like, "All right." And so he ended up like helping me with the gospel album, and the stuff just came to me, and it was almost like I was ministering to my soul, because sometimes I still go listen to some of those things if I'm going through something. Like, they have some really great messages in it, and I have people in my family like, I could never believe that you were actually going through all this stuff, because it was actually helping them. And I was like, really? And they would tell me that they were listening to my album, and I was actually singing in a lot of churches when I put it out. So, but it was, I guess, because my heart wasn't all the way there yet, I don't feel like I was able to really put into it what I needed to, because I was still wanting to sing R&B. But I did what I did. I put my all into it, but I guess I didn't. My heart and soul wasn't really there, should I say?
Gotcha. And you went right back to it.
I sure did. I went to Your Body. I sure did.
Right back to it.
Yeah, I went to Miss Nasty on the next album.
Man,
I sure did.
Explicit.
Yeah, that album, yeah. Yeah. Did, yeah.
Then I asked, was it more so like, I'm just asking based off on the outside looking in, was that to kind of solidify, not necessarily your, I guess, differentiality, but for us how you feel, like probably like deep down inside, like this is you, it's a part of you, because you are also followed up with the doing me. I took that like a slap in the face, like, man, okay, I'm doing me, this is who I am.
I have never had nobody break down my albums like this. This is dope. But yeah, you know what? I didn't think of it like that. Honestly, the Your Body album, I'm gonna just be real. That, I mean, it, sometimes your inner hoe need to come out, right? So, that was like the inner hoe album that came out on that one. I was like, I wanted to like get in tone with for me, I love Toni Braxton, and she said something that was really just, I love what she said. Me growing up in church, there was a lot of things I couldn't wear, I couldn't do. So when I become an artist, everything I couldn't do growing up, from how I dressed to everything, I'm going to do it. So if I want to look like I want to have a high split up to whatever, I'm going to do it. And so that's what the whole Your Body album, it got me, I wanted to get in touch with the whole sexual side, right? And so that's where that one came. So I guess, yeah, I love to, I never really got a chance to really do a whole little album based off of just like baby making music, should I say. And I just wanted to do it. And it just was something I just did.
Yeah. It's a little off topic, but it still follows what we're talking about. You just said that, like, basically, like, the inner hoe had to come out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you just from a woman's standpoint, but it's a general question for men and women. Do you think that everybody should go through a hoe phase before settling down, or you think that's just a myth? Like, as far as experience, I want to just say hoe phase, but as far as experience, outside of just being with one person for the rest of their life.
If you're single, yeah.
I mean,
I feel, I don't, even though I just had this conversation, honestly. I feel like if that's what you want to do, just keep it 100, right? Because you never know who's down with what you're willing to do. Don't hide it. But if you're single, let's be real, nobody is really just dating one person. At one point, I thought that's what the case was, and I got hit real quick. That's not what was going on, so I just had to,
Single and loving it.
There you go. That's exactly. And that's where that song, It Is What It Is, comes from on my new album. But it's just, at the end of the day, I feel like if you're going to be single, but don't deceive people while you being that. Like, let people know, hey, you ain't the only person I'm dealing with. So nobody's putting all their eggs in one basket thinking, okay, this might be the one. But yeah, you sitting here talking to this person. So yeah, if you can, as long as you're keeping it 100 with somebody, do you.
Do you think people can accept that honesty, though?
I can speak for myself. If you tell me what it is up front and give me the choice, I'll depending on what type of mind frame I'm in right now, or at that moment, I might be willing. Like I can digest the truth better than I can a lie. I might not like it, but give me like 2.5 seconds, 3 minutes. I'll go through my little roller coaster of emotions, and then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm calm. All right, let's talk about this, and I might be down with it. Who knows? But I just need to have that choice, because I feel like if I go ahead and say, hey, I'm down with like dealing with you while you're dealing with other people, if I find out about something, I can't get mad. And I think that's where all the problems come in at. You people sitting here trying to deceive everybody and then get mad because they get caught. Mm-hmm. Well, if you would have just said something up front, you probably won't have these problems. I probably won't call you during certain times if I think you're doing something, because I might know what the heck is going on. It's going to cause me a heartache and me get myself worked up. So I respect your time. Just respect mine back.
Right.
Because I'm definitely going to do exactly what you're doing to me right back to you. Don't get mad. That's all I'm saying. So I feel like, yeah, if you single, have your inner hoe. I don't care. Just be real with me about it.
Straight up. Now we gonna get into your most recent project.
Okay.
Album, should I say? How's the feedback? You just released that October 29th?
It's doing really good. Like I can honestly, this is probably the first album that when I look on Amazon, majority of my whole album is like got popular. They got
stars.
Yeah. Or on Amazon it's like bars.
I got you.
So I've never seen that before, and I have a lot of people loving different songs on it. Stuff that I didn't even think they was gonna like. They're actually liking it. But like I said, I went hard on this album. I went hard. So it's just I think this is one of my best ones. I will say that.
Say it's called Love Stories, and in my opinion, that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. It comes right in with the what it's called?
Freaky Tonight.
I think they say them church girls, they get low key freak.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
But no, the album, it starts like it's exactly what it's titled to be, a love story. It sounds like you started off with the Freaky Tonight. It sounds like, you met somebody, y'all might have like a little flame, and then it started, as the transition started to become serious, then something happened. Then it sounded like I had like a falling out. Mm-hmm. Then I want to say you moved on or maybe went back.
Yep. Isn't that how life usually is, though?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because when I put my songs together, I like to place them in a story. I don't feel like you should put songs all over the place. So I want to make sure everything goes with a nice little flow and it tells a story from beginning to end. Just like when I perform, I put all my songs in like a story format. Because I'm a storyteller. So I want people to be able to close their eyes and be able to picture everything, every single word, everything that I do when I sing it.
Yeah. I mean, most people don't think about it nowadays like that. Like formatting their projects to, follow up with from one track to the next. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure. That's good. Earlier you say you doing acting and also modeling.
Yeah.
Your first I guess role was in a movie called Choices.
Yes.
Speak about that a little bit.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be real. The person who films it, he ended up casting me because he went to a show that I put together. It was a music show that I did. It's called Kings and Queens of R&B, and I ended up meeting him there, but I had tunnel vision because I was doing a whole bunch of stuff trying to run that event. And so later on, I was like, I always knew I wanted to get in an acting role. And so I kept seeing stuff on Facebook, and I'm a person in twos. Like if I see something pop up more than one time, then I'm like, it's a sign I need to do it, or I need to not do it. So speak to me. And I kept seeing his name pop up, and I finally just like inboxed him. I was like, hey, so how did somebody get into one of your movies? And it just so happened that he was casting for this one role called Tina for the thing. I ended up actually singing in it, and she's an aspiring actress / singer. She gets killed, so I died at the end of the movie. But but yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, because I used to do acting in school, so I had to kind of like brush up on my skills a little bit. So he constantly like keeps putting me in there in roles, so I'm grateful for that.
And I know your most recent acting gig was the Black Love Stories.
Okay, so it was Black Love Stories, but it got switched around a little bit. So it's now actually going to be entitled the name of my album, Love Stories.
Gotcha.
Whereas, because originally this album actually was supposed to be a soundtrack to that, but it kept getting revised and revised. So now, I guess I can go ahead and say it. The album now is about to be a whole little mini series.
Trapped in the Closet type. It look like it give me like some love and hip hop vibes.
Oh, when you hear, I already got the scripts for episode 1 through 4, so it's definitely gonna.
I seen.
Oh no! It's a whole different thing.
So that's scrap.
So that's a scrap. But
Gotcha.
Of the episodes, the first episode we ended up redoing. So he's doing like a whole bunch of mini series, and that's gonna be released too. So only the first episode that we redid is gonna be on there. But this one, every episode is entitled a song on my track, and it's basically telling, like, bringing to life what, into his eyes, what my songs are about. Because let's be real, everybody, all these songs except for one, Stressed Out, I've never had somebody tell me what to write. So I was actually given instructions on, like, hey, I want you to write a song about XYZ, and I had to write it. So it was, this whole album was completely different from me that I've ever did. So it was.
I'm looking forward to seeing the project. The album is out, but just see like the, I guess the visuals of the album. Outside of that, what other things are you working on?
I have my own hair business where it's called She Rockin' That Hair / She Rockin' That / She Rockin' That, because I'm a barber / hairdresser also. So I focus on that, where I have my own hairline, I sell my own makeup line, I sell clothes, I sell stuff for men too, like shaving cream, aftershave, facial cleanser, eyelashes. I sell all on SheRockinHair.com. So I wear many hats, trying to get it how I can.
Gotcha. Is there any I guess announcements, like last minute announcements, shout outs you'd like to do?
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to definitely my manager, Marcus Wallace, because I couldn't, this whole project that I have, it wouldn't be possible without him. And then also the engineer my producer that actually produced my album, 80 Versatile Keys. And then a shout out to my day one, Jay Twice, for hooking this interview up for me.
Shout out to Jay Twice.
Jay Twice. And so yeah, those are the shout outs that I have, that I want to give out.
Shout out to your social media so they can know where to follow you at.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram on ke.bel.03. That's my artist page on Instagram.
Well, I appreciate the time.
Thank you. I enjoy myself.
Thank you.